I would like to welcome everyone to our second Oakbrook Business Network meeting of 2022. I'm very excited this morning to welcome all of you here on Zoom as well as Facebook Live, and also our guest speaker, Alexis. Welcome.
Aloha, thank you.
Aloha. My name is Michelle Sherritt. I am one of the owners and founders of the Oakbrook Business Network and our 4 other powerful networking groups. We have the Naperville, Northwest, North Shore, and Windy City Business Networks. Before we begin this morning, I'd like to cover some brief housekeeping items and just tell you a little bit more about our groups. Real quickly, our group started back in 2008 on LinkedIn, and they grew to be the largest networking groups online. We decided to take the groups live about 3 years ago now. We also trademarked the names, and we now have over 313 paid members, which is really exciting. We're still growing. Even during COVID, we got a lot of new members, which was great. And we'd love for you to be a member as well. During the pandemic, we had to shift our focus for the group and our membership just because we weren't meeting in person. We were doing these live Zoom events, so they were free to everyone. So we decided for our membership that we would include a lot more advertising opportunities for business owners to get the word out. So we now offer in our membership a 30-minute podcast interview on our podcast called Windy City Biz. So it kind of encompasses all of our groups and all of our local area, which is nice. And then we take that podcast and we create a blog post about you and your business. And then we put that out on all of our social media platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We have the 5 groups, so every group has its own Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn account. So that's a lot of places to get the word out about you and your business. Also, during our podcast interviews at the beginning and also at the end, we do a few shout outs to some local members. So if you're a member, you get 3 shout outs per year on our podcast interviews. So that's also a bonus. And then all of our online events are free. We have been doing some very successful happy hours on Zoom. We've tried not to have boring Zoom happy hours where you bring a cocktail and we just kind of go around and introduce ourselves. We introduced the wheel of topics, so that kind of keeps the conversation going. And it's just not business questions. It's also personal questions as well, like why are you passionate about your business? Why did you start it? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite restaurants? We kind of get to know each other a little bit more. We also do giveaways during these happy hour events. Last week we had one and we gave away a 1-year membership. So that was really exciting. And we also do breakout rooms. So you're able to do that one-on-one speed networking, which is always fun. We decided to have a new one for February, another one on February 16th. And it'll be from 5:30 to 7 p.m. So you can just visit our website at nwbiz.net to learn more about our groups, upcoming events, and to sign up for that networking happy hour. Today's talk, we ask that you keep yourself muted unless you have a question and there's a Q&A time. You definitely, if you're on Zoom, unmute yourself and please participate. If you're on Facebook Live, just type in your questions in the chat and we'll go ahead and moderate those when we do get to Q&A. This talk is being recorded and you will all receive the link to it later on this week, as well as an email with links to future events. So today's speaker is Alexis Rago. Alexis is the big kahuna of marketing mana and work on your business. She coaches and empowers small business owners to create powerful connections with their ideal clients through marketing strategies. Today, Alexis will be talking to us about how to love our business and reconnect in our daily grind. Welcome, Alexis. The floor is yours.
All right, aloha, everybody. For those of you that are online and can show yourself, I am an extrovert, so feel free to show yourself so I can. It's really hard if you've ever tried to. Good morning, Kathy. Thank you for coming on camera. If you've ever tried to present on Zoom to nobody, it's a little challenging. So I appreciate you showing it, your beautiful faces. And thank you, Michelle. I'm so excited to be part of Oakbrook Business Network. Thank you for this opportunity. And we are just going to go right in. I just want to say thank you to everybody, both at the recording as well as on Facebook Live, as well as future viewers. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I wanted to share a little bit about me and my background to start, just so you know, I'm not coming out of left field. I am originally from Hawaii. It is snowing outside, so I'm getting over that. But you will hear and see some of those themes throughout the presentation. And in addition to my MBA from the Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan, go Blue, I have experience in corporations and digital agencies for over 20 years. Marketing of all different companies, all different sizes, and all different industries, from technology and e-commerce to retail, legal, consumer packaged goods, financial solutions, insurance, real estate, health and wellness, coaching, and pretty much almost everything. My 4-year anniversary is approaching as the big kahuna at Marketing Mana, so I'm very excited. Mana, in case you aren't from Hawaii, it's a Hawaiian ethos about power, but it's not power that you can buy or trade. It's power that you earn through righteous actions. So for me, my power is connecting small businesses or small business owners with their purpose, their mission, their vision. We're going to be talking a lot about that today. Their brand, SMART goals, and of course, your customers, and ultimately your business. And that's why we're here today. So the value I provide my clients happens when they feel empowered to create strategic marketing tactics because they understand their marketing foundational elements. So that's a little bit about me. And everybody, I'm sure everybody can hear me fine. Thumbs up? Good? Wonderful. So this is me in a snapshot. Aside from my completed education on the top row, the rest of the slide really represents my current life. I'm a boy mom of a 5th grader and 8th grader. I exercise, I create healthy meals, I volunteer in the community, both from a work perspective and just a normal life perspective. I love exploring new places, going to events, supporting nonprofits and the arts. And I am truly, truly blessed to have such a full life. But is it too full? Am I doing more than expected? Am I pushing myself too hard? I know I'm not the only one out there. So what happens? Burnout, it happens, and it's no wonder. As a small business owner, we've been fed by society that we have to burn the candle at both ends. There's always more to do, and that we have to show up every day fully committed and full of motivation and get the job done no matter what it takes. Does this sound familiar? Okay, I see a few head nods. I want you to notice your body right now. Do you feel tension? Where? Are you holding your breath? Are you fully present? Or are you multitasking or thinking about all of the things that are on your plate for today? What feels relaxed? And take note, because we're going to do this again later. Pop quiz. Time to look at your screen. I want you to look over these statements. There are 13 of them. And please share in the chat either which ones are resonating with you or how many. So I'll give you about 30 seconds to look over those. And there's no judgment. Okay, something in the chat.
And we have people on Facebook saying many of them, at least 8.
Yeah, and trust me, I mean, I think I hit all of these at some point, if not right now. So these are common signs that you may be heading toward or already in burnout. And I'm here to help you face your obstacles and find energy. So we're going to pause and reset because nobody likes to feel that tension. So I'd like everybody to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in for 3 counts and out for 6. I will count you through. Okay, so take a deep breath in, 2, 3, really expanding your chest, and breathe out. You can even be audible for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now open your eyes. Every day the sun rises. It may be cloudy, it may be windy, not quite you expected. It may be beautiful, colorful, peaceful. Even in landlocked western suburbs of Chicago, one thing is certain, it happens every day, whether you are there to witness it or not. So now, check in with your body. What feels different than the last slide? Does your chest feel relaxed or tight? Are you breathing? Please breathe. Are you clenching your jaw? Do you feel calmer as you breathe and imagine the sunrise? So if people want to just put into the chat how they're feeling. Michelle, do you see things? Oh, I see some things in the chat.
I was putting
way better, more relaxed,
way better,
calmer.
more relaxed. Yep.
Yes, yes. And doesn't that feel better? Nobody wants to feel like that. So when you face your burnout and obstacles, I want you to know you're not alone. Hello, type A perfectionist right here. Forbes recently shared the results from the Capital One Business Survey of U.S. small business owners. It was over November 17th through the 21st in 2021, so just a few months ago. 42% of small business owners and 62% of minority business owners reported recently experiencing burnout. Burnout affects your mental health, your well-being, your physical health, and work-life balance. Not to mention your productivity and your business profitability. Remember, we're in business. We like making money. There's nothing wrong with that. When you have employees or you don't have employees, either way, it's easy to get stuck in the daily grind and lose your passion for your business. For those of you who don't know me, I am a passionate person. I'm an Aquarius. My birthday was just this weekend. I am full of passion and I want you and your business to be successful. And behind that, passion has to be there. When you experience burnout, obstacles, they may seem distorted. You may feel that life or the challenge du jour is larger than you and will help you shift back to feel that you are larger than life or that obstacle. So how do you face obstacles that are draining your energy? The first step is to rationalize the situation. You have to identify what's happening and address it. Honestly, this happened to me just a few weeks ago. Normally, January is my month. I am just raring to go. I'm full of energy. I've got my goals. I've got my plans. I'm unstoppable. I've got my word of the year. You name it. January is like, it's that reset and like time to hit the ground and hit the pavement hard. This year, something was different. I was in this funk. I couldn't figure it out. I've been working out for, 5 years, 5 to 7 times a week, and I was hitting the snooze button. I just couldn't get out of bed. It just wasn't working. Now, I am committed to other people in my workout. We work out over Zoom, so I had to show up for them. I wasn't showing up for myself. And I also realized that I wasn't working on my own business. I was using every excuse in the book I could. I was helping clients out in really prioritizing that. I wasn't making time to work on my business. I was volunteering. I volunteered with the chamber on the DEI committee, and I did a whole marketing plan for them. Why wasn't I doing it for myself? After about 2 weeks of not accomplishing probably at least half of what I wanted to, I had to say, it's time to pause. I need to ask myself, what's going on? Why am I acting this way? And so I looked at my actions and I compared them to my past experiences because I wasn't doing anything new, right? I've been in business for 4 years. I've been working out for over 5 years. I noticed I was physically showing up to work out, but I was just going through the motions. So guess what? I wasn't getting the results. And I wasn't showing up mentally, right? You have to be in it, be in the game. So I asked myself why. What was influencing my behaviors and my actions? I realized with the workout, I wasn't really excited about the workout program, but I knew it was more than that. I was working through some things just on a personal level that needed my emotional attention, and I was just drained. I didn't have any more to give. So I kept digging deeper. Okay, what's going on? Why? And I discovered that I was actually concerned about the impending Omicron spike that was supposed to happen the second half of January. I was really worried that society was going to go back to the times of like March 2020, when connections in life just seemed to take a pause and we didn't know when it was going to come back. We didn't know when things were going to open up again. And anxiety was getting the best of me. I really hate to lose, and I especially hate to lose to anxiety. So I realized I was burnt out. I needed a break. Gave myself a couple days of no workouts. Gave myself maybe, a half day off of work. And I hit the reset button. I started to get excited about a new workout program. And that started to get things moving. I realized the impact all of this was having on my work. I was overwhelmed with marketing my services because, yes, even marketers have trouble marketing their own business. We're too close to it. I was providing too many choices to my prospects. I wanted to find solutions that worked for everyone. I was afraid that if I didn't give them the choices that worked within their time constraints, that I would lose them. But in reality, I was just giving too many options, too much information, and I was overwhelming them. I don't want to do that. I had a fear of not being available for my prospects when they were ready to commit. And I knew I had to make a decision, reduce the options, get plans in place, and move forward with marketing strategies and tactics for my business. And I also addressed my timing conflicts by offering something that wasn't time sensitive. So as soon as I identified the problem and I addressed it and I faced my fears, this huge weight was lifted and my brain fog began to clear. It was incredible. I'm sure, has anyone ever gone through that before? You're just overwhelmed, and then all of a sudden you can see, oh, I just need a solution. And even before the solution is in place, you just start to feel better. So by mapping out that solution, even before I began to execute it, just knowing, okay, this is the direction that I'm going, that provided me the mental relief and allowed me to emerge. And the fog lifted in other areas of my life. And you would be happy to know that, yes, I did work out yesterday. Today and tomorrow are my official days off, but I am crushing it with my 10 rounds of boxing. And so it's just moving in the right direction. Do you see results right away? No, but I already am seeing the ability to get out of bed without having to snooze. So this picture is from a hike that I took in November, I think it was, on Kauai. And it was by the Nepali coast. And there's now 5 places that you actually have to cross over the river. Now, it's been a few decades since I've hopped from rock to rock to rock, as my cousin did effortlessly because she's been doing that her entire life. But all of a sudden, I was on one rock and I noticed my confidence and my legs were a little shaky. And I was frozen. And there's all these people lining up behind me. And they say, at one point, I'm stuck and I'm like just there. And this woman behind me, who's probably 10, 20 years older than me, says, "Would you like one of my hiking sticks?" And I turned around. I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, thank you so much." And so I'm using the stick. And then, I get across a couple rocks and then whoosh, my leg falls into the river and my shoe and my sock is now wet. Could have been worse. Could have fallen into the river, right? My whole body could have been wet. That would have been pretty bad. And, I got across the river, gave her back the pole, said thank you very much, and tried to keep the other foot dry. But as you can tell in this picture, eventually both feet went in, and I didn't want that to happen because I was really fearful of having blisters form. Because wet socks, wet shoes, rubbing, and this is a 7-8 mile hike, and I really did not want that to happen. But like I said, I didn't fall all the way into the river. I just had 2 wet feet, and I was determined to get to my goal, which was after a 2-mile hike into a secluded beach, there was another 2-mile hike to a waterfall, and I knew I was not going to give up, because the reality is the trail could get washed away at any time. And I may not have, I don't know the next time I'm going to Kauai, and I don't want to lose the opportunity to take advantage. So just like in business, you have to face your fears and your obstacles and just realize it could have been worse. So when you are facing your obstacles, determination and perseverance, those are key. And you have to keep asking yourself why until you get to the honest truth. I would never describe myself as somebody who's fearful. But guess what? I have fears just like everybody else. And it's okay. So once you identify a solution, even if it isn't implemented right away, knowing you have a plan, that allows you to focus on other aspects of your business. And similar to time blocking, if you've ever done that with your calendar, when you have a designated time to work on something, or you have a designated plan that will be implemented, your mind is freed up because you are prepared to work on it when the time comes, or you're prepared to put that solution in place when the time is right. And then you can emerge and go on with your business. So sometimes a goal is enough motivation to keep going. Mine, that's the 300-foot tall waterfall. I hadn't been to Kauai since 1986. I'm not missing out. I don't want to run that risk of a bad storm coming through and the trail gone. This is a place called Hanakapiai Falls. It's gorgeous. It's a good hike. It's not like the most difficult hike, but it's not an easy one either. And this was my chance, and I made it. And my motivation was high to complete this. However, motivation is not a constant. And even as entrepreneurs, we have to remember we're human, because we are. And our motivation ebbs and flows. So it's important to give ourselves some grace and acknowledge some days are tougher than others. Sometimes things are out of our control. And that's why we need a deeper purpose to keep us motivated. Goals may keep us on track, but purpose provides motivation beyond the reward. So you started your business for a reason. And Well, yeah, like I said, we like to make money. The purpose of your business is probably not to become the next big tycoon. Do you remember your why? When I was in my funk last month, it was helpful for me to remember my purpose and my why. And I remembered I don't want to work for anyone ever again at all. Of course, I have clients, I work for them, I love my clients, but the difference is I get to show up for myself so that I can help others, as opposed to showing up for somebody else's purpose and finding value in that. I'm an entrepreneur for a reason, and I embrace it. I focus on empowering small business owners with marketing strategies to create powerful connections with their customers. I own my commitments, I own my successes, and yes, I own my failures because it's me. When I focus on purpose, the sales happen. And I'm a small business owner. I like making money. There's nothing wrong with that. When I work with business owners and I help them achieve their goals, that's the ultimate reward for me. So I want you to think about what happens if your business fails. For me, I would have to show up for somebody else first. I'd have to live within my new limitations of my ability to choose the work, the type of work, who I work with, the people I work with, managing my schedule, and my availability for my family. And what happens when your business succeeds? Well, you fulfill your mission and your vision. They come to life. And this is just the beginning of the framework to create your purpose-driven marketing strategies. So now that you remember your purpose, and if you don't, set time aside and think about it and write it down later this week. But now that you remember it, it's time to reconnect with your business. And you may have to ask yourself, is your purpose still relevant? Or has your purpose evolved or changed a little or maybe even a lot? How is your purpose or how is your business differentiated from your competition? You don't want something that's completely replicatable. And sure, there's a million marketers out there, but maybe it's the way that I kick you in your okole that makes you want to work with me, or that I'm kind or humorous, or I'm hard. I ask the tough questions. I make you think. That's what my customers tell me. So how is your business different? What do your customers appreciate about your company? What do they place value on? Just because you think something is a huge benefit, the reality is your customers may appreciate that, but really the true value is something else. So what influences their loyalty or frequency of purchases and their interactions with your brand, with your company? It's important to revisit your company's marketing foundational elements. So core values. Core values are the essence of any company, your company, and they set the groundwork for your company's differentiation. They're part of your mission, your vision, your brand. Your core values are interwoven in messaging, everyday, business decisions, and how customers perceive your brand. They can be used in messaging, in hiring, in screening, in vendor selection, and more. Your mission statement isn't just for nonprofits. A mission statement is something that every business should have. It shares your purpose, and this is key. It shares your purpose. It describes the product or service that you provide. It describes who your customers are and the problem that your company solves. A mission statement provides direction regarding business decisions, and it helps you keep on track and focus on taking steps to achieve your vision. A mission statement manages expectations from the business, your team, and your customers. Now, a vision statement defines the ideal future state for the business. It helps keep you moving forward in the right direction, and it allows you to evaluate opportunities that may come your way. This is key to ensuring goals and strategies are aligned with your company vision. And your brand, now that you have clearly defined the other foundational elements, you should think about your brand. What's the meaning behind your brand? You may love the design of your logo, but does it convey the same message as your mission and your vision? Is your company name limiting your offerings, or does it need to be niche down? Does your tone in the messaging align with your core values? These are just some of the questions that you'll want to evaluate. So how well do you know your customers? How have their needs changed, especially over the past few years? When you understand what your customer is experiencing, you create a smoother journey, the customer journey or the customer path for them. And they appreciate that. They will feel connected to your brand because you've taken the time and you're actively demonstrating that you understand what they're going through. And you want to help them by making it easier and better for them. This is key to building trust. And that trust does result in conversions. So what is their journey? What are their pain points? How are you showing up? Are you guiding them through the journey? Are you pulling them? Are you pushing them? Every customer is different, but you'll find that 80-20 rule, where 80% of your profits come from 20% of your customers, and you'll hone in and really understand those 20% so that you can make this the best possible experience for them, whatever it is, whether it's taxes or marketing or real estate, whatever it is, there is a journey, there are a lot of decisions, and you are showing up because you are the expert. When you meet them where they are, that shows your understanding of what they're going through. How can you learn more about your customers? These are just a few of the considerations and the questions that every company should be exploring as you evaluate how your brand is showing up for them. Now, listening and hearing your customers translate your company's benefits into value when they share the result of using your service or your product, that's what I call ooh, it's so juicy, it's dripping with insights. I know Michelle's smiling. Testimonials are a great service because you're hearing your customers share their experience about your product in their language. Read them deeply, read them many times, and look between the lines to see what they're conveying. When you listen intently and you see which insights that you can garner, how your brand is perceived, and does that align with your desired brand promise? Any kind of direct customer interaction, whether it's face-to-face or customer service or chat, any of that, or social media conversations, DMs, or it's engagement through channels. So, if it's just liking or, that kind of engaging on social media, or it's going through your website, the user flow, all of those things provide opportunities to learn more. You just need to take the time. So what do your core values look like in action? Does your company culture reflect your core values? Now, some of your core values you may find reflect a desired future state, and that's great. It can be helpful to apply those to your company's core values, or to apply your company's core values to internal situations and external situations, whether it's vendors, new hires, internal meetings. Look for ways your core values are showing up in your culture and take time to assess how they show up in your daily work, whether it's your personal work, your team, your customers, your vendors, your messaging. They should be everywhere. SMART goals. How many people have heard about SMART goals? All right. So defining a SMART goal provides the direction and the intention to maintain focus and build a plan that achieves a goal that's aligned with your mission and your vision. The key to clearly defined goals is using the SMART format, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Specific, what exactly do you want to accomplish? Measurable, what measurements are in place to show you you're making progress, right, to help with the motivation, and ultimately reach the goal. Achievable, is the goal realistic with effort and commitment, right? It's not just going to happen. You have to put some effort and time and commitment into it. But do you have the resources or skills that are needed to achieve the goal? Are you dependent on anyone else? Is there anything else that may prevent your success? Relevant. Why? Why is the goal significant to your business? What values are reflected in the goal? Why is the goal important? And this is important to remember your why, your purpose, and make sure that it is aligned with your mission and your vision. So sometimes this can be the indicator that this is not a good goal and we need to rethink things. And then time-based. When will the goal be achieved? So I do recommend focusing on smaller goals that are achievable within 3 months, because you want to keep that motivation and that forward progress moving. And once your goal is defined, then you can create an action plan. You use strategies that align with your mission. You identify actions for each of the strategies. And then for each of the actions, you chunk that down into actionable bite-sized pieces. That's why it's called chunking. You assign an owner and timing. And you'll also want to consider the benefit of achieving this goal. It's fun to win, and it helps you stay accountable. So we have addressed 2 of our 3 key takeaways, and we're doing great on time because we've got 1 left and we still have 20 minutes to get through that and get some questions. So when you're facing your obstacles, we all have them, and it's okay. You're not alone. Identify, keep asking yourself why. Address it, look it in the face and say, I am bigger than you. You are not going to take me down. Get a solution in place, at least identify that solution, and then actually putting that solution in place. But once it's identified and there is a plan and it's moving forward, you will be able to emerge and get your energy back and be refueled. Remembering your purpose is key. It's absolutely key to your success. And then applying the framework, a ton of questions. Yes, it is work, but when you apply that framework, you are going to be able to create your purpose-driven marketing strategies, which will get you towards your goals and through that new growth stage or whatever you're trying to do in your business, whether it's launching a product or service or going after a new customer set, whatever it may be. When you have purpose-driven marketing strategies behind, you will see progress. So I would like to open it up real quick for questions, or people can enter in the chat on Facebook as well. And I'd love to know what's something that you've taken away as an action item, something that you learned, maybe an aha moment. So feel free and drop those in. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Alexis, we
Yes.
have some questions on Facebook that don't pertain to this question.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So some things that have come up, I've been taking notes. A lot of people are saying, what steps should I be taking? So kind of going back a few slides, to understand my customers. Is this through just asking them? Is this through surveys? How would you go about this? And a lot of people were asking this.
Yeah. So customers are complex, and that's a great question. There's always more you can learn. Surveys are interesting. Now, especially, there's a lot of surveys that are going out. So some people may be surveyed out if you can provide an incentive, like a $50 gift card, or maybe, a free product, it just depends on what you offer. That can be a great way to get it. But it really is just having you, if you have a team, listening. Your customers share so much knowledge with you. It's those interactions. It's picking up the phone and, talking to them, if there's an issue, or, because most of the time people don't necessarily call when things are going well. But if there are problems or challenges that they're facing, listen to them. What are they saying? Is it maybe maybe your target market are boomers, and, they're tech with it. I don't know how savvy, like some of them are savvy, but they're tech with it. And maybe your website isn't intuitive for them. And then that makes them feel incompetent or, challenged. And, maybe they're going through things like dementia or something. And so, they're already kind of down on themselves, and they don't need a harder than necessary experience on your site. So it really is just, understanding how people use and interact your product or your service, and just asking questions, hey, how do you like it? I noticed you have this flavor and that flavor. Do you use them differently? Yeah, I love green tea in the morning, and I love my hibiscus or ginger at night, to settle my tummy. Whatever it is, it's hard. I can't be super specific because I don't know what industries we're talking about. But it is, any opportunity to listen, see what people are engaging with. If you're face to face, look at their eyes. The mask might be on, but the eyes will light up if you're connecting with them on something that is resonating with them. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, definitely. They're saying yes. So thank you.
Oh, great. You're welcome. I see something in the chat. Oh, that's a private chat. Okay. Thanks, Stacy. Anything else? Okay, well, let's move forward. And we have the third. I do want everybody just to take a little moment, though, and write down something that you are going to follow up on, whether that is, listening to your customers or something else, remembering your purpose, writing it down, looking at it daily, putting it in a frame that you can see it. Strategy on a shelf is only as good as a strategy on a shelf. You need to actually put it into place. All right, so next up, we have how to reconnect and stay connected to your business. So recognizing your efforts on a daily basis. Have you ever ended your day and been like, where did that go? What happened? What did I do? How am I moving forward to achieve my goals? Did I do work that was aligned with my mission and my vision? Sometimes it's not just one day, but maybe several days, or maybe even a week. So you want to make sure, if you take a few moments every day, just journal, and really old school, like pen or pencil to paper. There is something in that sits and it actually settles in your brain. I don't know the official science for it, but it makes that connection stronger. And when you do that, you can reflect and acknowledge your efforts and your wins and your learnings and even fun moments. And it doesn't have to be a lot, like this much, guys, couple sentences. This is what I did. I killed it on a presentation today. Or I reconnected with 5 people that I haven't seen in a long time. And, I provided value to new business owners that I didn't previously know, and they didn't know me. There's lots of ways that we can be kind to ourselves. You can capture anything that's intentional or purposeful or positive interactions. You could capture some of your core values that you saw other people using or that you used. You can gain insight into your habits by doing this, by the way. You might find some time management, little hacks, and you may realize that there are other areas that need to be modified too. It's a learning experience. When you realize your progress, you'll find that sometimes you need to rearrange your priorities as needed. Sometimes you stay aligned to your mission, you are focused on your SMART goal, and you follow your action plan, you've got measurements in place. And as you're tracking these measurements, you're keeping yourself and your team accountable. So you want to make sure you evaluate how you're using your core values in different situations and how frequently are you recognizing them? Are they integrated on a daily basis? Keep going because it will become habit if it isn't already. And that's, how you build that strong culture. Have your customer reviews changed? Are people talking differently about your company, your product, or your service? Are you hearing different feedback, and why? You may find opportunities for efficiencies that are more clear as you establish processes. And if you need to shift priorities, well, what are the consequences of that choice? Maybe the consequences of 10, 15% growth. Maybe the consequences 10 to 15% more hours. You just have to really take note and realize the progress. And sometimes there's roadblocks. Sometimes you just need to move things around, look at things in a different way. And just because maybe there are some solopreneurs in the audience or a small business owner that doesn't have a senior leadership team, just because you may feel alone, you are not alone, and you don't have to do everything on your own. Outsourcing is phenomenal. You can focus your time on doing what you love to do. With your purpose, when you focus on your purpose and you keep this as your driving force, then it's top of mind with all of your decisions. And that is how your actions stay intentional. And you have to continue to ask yourself, how can you contribute the most value to your business? Is your time used wisely if you're playing project manager for, a website implementation? Or should you leave that to your website developer? Think about it. How are you going to get your purpose to life, to your customers, in a way that you are able to give your customers the most value possible? So it's okay to ask for help, and you'll be happier. And remember to reward and celebrate. Big wins, small wins, everything. So on a personal side, my husband comes from a family where they celebrate everything. It's like, oh, it's Monday, yay! And I was a bit cynical, and I was like, yeah, it's Monday. It happens every 7 days, like, come on. And I found that I was doing this in business as well. Like, the first time I closed my books, that should have been a huge celebration because it was such a barrier to me, and it is something that I outsource now. but it was like, oh, thank God it's done. Take time to celebrate. Take time to reward yourself, your team, your customers, whoever it is. And this is shaved ice. This is like super fancy shaved ice in case anybody hasn't been to Hawaii recently. You want to acknowledge everybody who made the win possible. So when I celebrate my company anniversary last year, I took my parents out and my family out because they were a big part of how I was able to do my work that I did. If my parents didn't help, babysit the kids so that my husband and I could take a date night out because I was working really late and never had time to connect with him, when I was overworking, that's part of it, right? We're not alone. There is a support system behind us. So, and within your team, acknowledge everybody who's making a win possible. Big wins, small wins, whatever it is. Acknowledge people like to stay in their jobs when they are acknowledged for their efforts. So how does it feel when things are accomplished? It's hard not to smile when I'm asking, like, yeah, okay, leading the witness, but still, how does it feel? It feels good. It feels great. You got to check it off the list. If you're a list person, you might, getting things accomplished like a blog, for example, right? It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but if you've got a blog entry, then guess what? Now you're sharing that value and that knowledge with people that are following. You're giving them content, and that's what people love when it is worthy. How's your team impacted? Maybe there's a sense of relief that something big got done. Maybe now that something happened, that opens up the possibility for hiring another person. How will your team feel with that? So think about ways that your company can celebrate and reward. And think about what's the impact on your customers. Maybe it's a bug fix and you're pushing that out, and now people don't have to deal with whatever they were dealing with that was taking a couple extra minutes out of their day. It sounds like a small thing, but you don't want your company associated with something that annoys your customer. And remember your purpose. Always remember your purpose. This slide takes a little long to load because of that. So my word this year, every year I pick a word, and my word this year is transform. And these are pictures all from Hawaii about transformation. The one palace in the upper left corner, that's Iolani Palace, and that was the transformation from a monarchy to an overthrown monarchy, actually. But it symbolizes what happened, and the transformation, it wasn't instant. I mean, the overthrow kind of was, but for hundreds of years prior, the Hawaiians were traveling the world and learning about different cultures and inviting people in to learn about diplomats, arts, cultures, whatever it was. Very smart culture, very well read. Once they learned to read in the 1800s, like a 75% literacy rate, and storytelling for centuries. Really, truly beautiful. That sunrise every day, that is your transformation that happens. The middle picture on the left, that's Maui, which was actually formed from several volcanoes eventually coming together to fill in the middle of the island. The longer picture is Olamana, which is on the windward side of Oahu, and just hiking up and up and up, and then you see the entire eastern seaboard of the island, and you turn around and you see all the beautiful mountains. And the mountains that day happened to be covered in gray, and the ocean side was just beautiful and glorious. And then you've got a sunset at Kapiolani Park over by Waikiki. You've got volcanic little cones on Haleakala on Maui. And then, of course, the rainbow. Just walking out of Costco in Hawaii, and boom, there it is. Transformation is around us. You just need to open your eyes and look for it. So I wanted to tell the group about a couple of things that I offer. And one is the Work on Your Business Retreat, which is this year. I'm going to have two, but for the first half of the year, it's April 21st through the 24th. And it's basically marketing strategy and a landing page done intensely in 3 days in a 9,000 square foot mansion that's on Lake Michigan in Racine, Wisconsin. It's amazing. It is a high touch group workshop style, because there are only 8 small business owners that are in it, and me and my website expert. And then it's really for small business owners that are looking to grow, and they're looking to focus. They're looking for marketing strategies. They're looking for messaging. They're looking for goals. They're looking for branding. They're looking really, really to put time into the marketing strategy. I have worked with many companies, and most of them are 10 to 30 years of in business, and they just haven't needed to, or haven't had time to, or just haven't made it a priority to work on their marketing. So we're there from Thursday at 5 p.m. to Sunday at 10 a.m. Everything's taken care of. I take care of you. Food, your own room, your own private bath. This is the bottom picture is the view. That is Lake Michigan in the back. I mean, it can't get more gorgeous than this. And we're averaging about 1,000 square feet per person. So plenty of space, great connection. It's the kind of weekend where you're going to emerge really connected to your business with marketing strategies. So please feel free, go to workonyour.business and learn more. You can see more pictures of the mansion and just drool, because it's, mansions are fun. And if those dates don't work for you, then we can do a private session, and it's called a Mana Marathon. And it's marketing strategy in 3 weeks. We have a kickoff session, 2 half-day sessions, and a wrap-up session. And it is completely 100% focused on your small business. And again, same thing, growth stage, new customer segment, new service, product launch, whatever it is. I am going to guide you through that. You are going to walk away with everything that is tailored to your small business, and we're going to get your purpose clear, and your core and mission and vision and goals and branding, you name it, we will tackle it. It's great to explore customer journeys. It's been very helpful for several of my clients. And that's me, authentic and strong. And so my hair, it's not always the neatest. It's usually tousled, and it was all good for this photo shoot, and I was excited. It was for, portraits of successful women. And then a wind blew, and that was it. And I was like, oh, well, this is me, and I am strong, and I've got my little shaka, I've got my bicep curl. This is what I do. I build relationships. I am active and engaged. I bring energy. I volunteer. I connect people and businesses. I create a sense of belonging, because no one should ever feel alone. And I am happy to share my expertise while building communities and maintaining balance. So I just wanted to say mahalo to everybody for today. We do have some time for some questions. I would love to connect with people. Feel free, reach out, and hopefully we can set up one-on-ones and see if Marketing Mana can help you in your business. So mahalo so much. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Alexis. Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to unmute and ask a question? I know we had some people hop off that had to get to other meetings. Okay. Just a lot of great comments on Facebook. One comment was, I always feel like I have to be working because I work from home. And whenever I have free time, I feel like I need to be working on my business. So it's a struggle to find that balance. So I know you had talked about that at the beginning. It is hard. You always feel like you have to be working on your business and doing something, or you're not being productive. I know I feel like that too sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's where the goals really come into play, because when you do have your purpose and a goal that is achieving that, you will find that it actually gets you more efficient, because you're clear about what needs to happen, and you're clear about how that's going to help. To that person, I would say, really think about what would happen if your business succeeds. how does that impact? And are the activities that you're doing, because again, I'm not perfect at all. I have to remind myself of this every day. I have a calendar invite every Monday at 7:45 a.m. and in there I have my goals so that I can review them and keep them top of mind. So make sure you're really asking yourself, are the activities that I'm doing helping me achieve my mission and my vision and fulfilling my purpose? And then you do need to set boundaries, and it's not easy at all. My office is right next to the front door. I see everything that happens. There's no way I can shut it off yet. Doors are in the future plans. But, just setting those boundaries with your loved ones, and so that you can be fully present. This morning my son was trying to tell me about his cake that he wants for his birthday in a few weeks. And I said, I do not have the mental capacity to hear what you are saying. You will have my full attention this afternoon after my presentation is done.
Yeah.
And my work day. So, yeah.
There's some questions or some comments just saying, yes, you have to recharge every once in a while. What are some tips besides taking a day off or taking a vacation that you would have for doing that?
So, real quick, the 3-6 breathing. If you just have a minute, because, love Zoom, don't have to drive anywhere, but you're scheduling back to back, aren't you? Yeah. So, just 10 seconds, that's all you need. Take that deep breath in, fill your chest, think about all of the good. That's the other thing I do. I'll think of a word that I associate, like bringing in good. I might also think of a color, like a calming color, like a nice blue, and then breathe out for 6 seconds and really just get it all out, like fully deflate your chest and push it out audibly, like a, and really from the gut, all of it out. And, you could associate bad or red or negative or challenges or obstacles, whatever it is. And that is a really quick reset. Taking time off, it doesn't have to be a huge expensive thing. Maybe you take a 30-minute break and read a book that you wanted to read that's not for your business. Like, how many of us really read for pleasure?
Oh, I know.
I listen to business radio, I just surround myself with business stuff all the time. And so just taking 30 minutes to read something that's not business related, it can refuel you. And it's okay. Also, taking walks, especially if you have dogs, get outside with your dog, even in the cold, even if that requires snow pants.
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Alexis, for your awesome talk today. From the comments we were getting on Facebook Live, there are a lot of folks feeling a disconnect right now, but say that the tips that you gave today, they're going to implement and try out.
Wonderful.
Owning your own business is a roller coaster ride, as we all know, with a lot of ups and downs. And coaches like Alexis really do help us to get focused and get centered on our business. And really find that balance too with our personal lives and running our business. And it gives us amazing results. So I would definitely check out Alexis's retreat. That looks really interesting. And I think I'm going to do it at some point.
I would love that. I would love that. It's hardest to market yourself.
Yes.
And it really is wonderful. We had huge success with our participants last year, and one of which was a therapist, and she said it was so nice to have somebody else leading me through this and taking care of me. I didn't have to, yes, I had to think about my business, but I didn't have to think about everything else. Everything was taken care of, and that's part of it. Like it's okay. And we are going to get through it, and your business will be that much stronger, and your clients will notice, your customers will be happy, and your family will too, and you will. So
definitely.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Alexis. As a reminder to everyone, our next virtual happy hour event will be February 16th from 5:30 to 7. You will receive an email about that this week, including a link to the recording of today's talk. So to learn more about our groups, membership, upcoming events, or to listen to past events, just visit our website at oakbrookbiz.net. I want to thank you all again for attending today and have a great day. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you. Mahalo, everybody.